Hey Dog Pros, Josh from DigiWoof here, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to automate your client follow-up inside of Clicks. If you're a positive reinforcement pet care professional who has to follow up with clients or potential clients, this might be after an initial call for the folks that need to talk to their spouse, or it might be after an initial training session where you're wanting to send handouts and emails to follow up with your clients. If you're taking the time to send out these follow-ups manually, so you might have pre-written emails that you need to copy and paste after your sessions, or it might be that you're writing them out manually, chances are you're probably spending a fair amount of time that you'd rather be spending on something else. So if this sounds like you, definitely stick around and I'm going to quickly show you how easy it is to automate all of your follow-up inside of our all-in-one software, Clicks. All right, so let's jump in. So I'm in my Clicks test account here, and I first want to go over a higher level how this will actually work when you have your automation set up and running. So I'm in this test account, which has some sample data with fake clients here. I'm in our opportunities tab, and this actually shows us all of our clients or potential clients in the various stages of our business. So people that are strangers on the front end showing interest, so that might be a contact form, that might be calling your Clicks phone number, that might be doing something on social media, that could be using the chat widget, any kind of communication on the front end that gives us an indication that they are showing interest, they will automatically be put in here as a lead. Now, from there, let's say we have automated responses going out to those various communications. So for the calls, we might have a text going out saying, sorry, I missed your call. If you have any questions about your dog's training, I'd love to schedule a discovery call with you. Click here to do that, more or less. Alternatively, for the form inquiries, we can have an email that goes out and says, hey, if you'd like to book your session, click here, something like that. Now, do note that there are businesses that don't necessarily want to do a free call. Maybe it is that you have people fill out an application on the front end rather than doing a free call. Just know this can be customized to your exact business and the stages you have people go through. But for this example, let's say you do have people going into a discovery call. So when they schedule that discovery call, they are automatically moved over into this next tab. So then when it's time for that call with Colleen, and actually before the call with Colleen, when she schedules, she's going to get reminders leading up to that call, so she shows up. I will too. And then when I get on that call or try to call Colleen, some things can happen here. So for one, I can open up her card. I can then go to tasks and give myself a task that might not otherwise be automated. Alternatively, I can take some notes about what we talked about, for example, so I can, remember for the next piece of this. Let's say I call Colleen and she doesn't answer. I can then move her over into my missed call tab. And so then that might wait a few minutes, send an email and say, hey, Colleen, I tried to give you a call, but so sorry I missed you. If you'd like to reschedule, click here. And so you can see that's one way that we might follow up with these people where otherwise we'd be, just letting it go or typing up an email. And then let's say we do get Colleen does answer and we have the call and we determine Colleen says, oh, let me talk to my spouse. I need to think about it a little bit. So then I can pretend this says follow-up. So I can move Colleen over into my follow-up, and that can trigger automations for wait a day, send an email saying, hey, Colleen, so nice meeting you and talking about Fluffy. Take all the time you need to consider. If you'd like to move forward, click here, or respond to this email or whatever that might look like. Now, when Colleen responds and says, yeah, sign me up, it might be that we have something automated moving her into the next stage, or let's pretend package says onboarding actually. So then I can move Colleen over into onboarding, and that might trigger some emails going out saying, for one, a link to a intake form with a release signature and having them upload some files, like vet records, for example. And it might send some links to videos to get them prepped for your first session, for example. So whatever that might look like. Now, So you can kind of see what that follow-up looks like on the front end. That can also apply to the back end as well. So after you have that paid session, 2 hours later, we send an email with like a follow-up that you kind of send for all of your clients for a particular type of service. And that can be customized to any kind of segment of client that you have. So let's say you do reactivity, let's say you do fearful dogs, let's say you do puppies, for example. You can customize the response or the follow-up for those different things. So it doesn't have to be a one-size-fits-all. Again, you can go as broad or as granular as you want. Now, I hope that makes sense from a broad perspective. Now I'm going to actually go into our automations and show you what this looks like. So this is what your account would look like should you sign up for Clicks. So you'll see these different folders that contain the different automations that are responsible for the client journey, more or less. So on the front end, so inbound, meaning someone is coming via the chat or a form submission, missed call text back, could be social media as well. And so when someone calls your phone, for example, okay, so when the call status is missed or busy or no answer and they're calling you, we can have a weekday response. So this action is what's responsible for putting them in to your pipeline. Know that this is already programmed for you here. You just have to customize the messaging and turn it on, then it works. And so you can see what is happening. So if it's a weekday and we didn't answer or whatnot, then we're texting back and saying, hi there, business name here. So sorry we missed your call. Have any questions about your puppy's training? Feel free to ask them here. And then we're waiting for a response. And if they do respond, we are giving you a notification to say, hey, go see what they said, respond back to them. And so that's just one example. It could be that in this, you just have a link to a discovery call rather than prompting them to like communicate with you. Kind of depends on your preferences there, right? And then you can also see we have the same thing for your weekend too. So this messaging just might be slightly different. So that's on the front end. Now let's take a look at the discovery call. So when someone books a call in a particular calendar, so being the discovery call calendar, and you can change the availability, that this doesn't necessarily have to be a call either. It could be when they fill out the application. Again, depends on your preferences. But then when they do, this is an example for a session. So when a session is booked, you get a notification, they get a confirmation. And so then they 24 hours before the appointment, reminder, 30 minutes before the appointment, and then we can have things happen from there. So maybe you want to send a text and say, hey, so-and-so, hey, person's first name, just a reminder about our call in 30 regarding, and then I can plug in their dog's name too, for example, if I've asked for it. So regarding Fluffy, or anything else that I've asked them to. Regarding Fluffy's, and then if I ask them, what can we help with? And they answered separation anxiety, I can say Fluffy separation anxiety. So just, again, as granular or as broad as we want these automations to be. So there you go. You can see how this could apply to either your training sessions, as far as like we could then do another one that is wait, again, based on the appointment. So after the appointment, let's say 2 hours after. Okay, 2 hours after the appointment, we send an email that says, hey, so-and-so, thank you so much for participating in today's session. Be sure to go check out your membership area to find XYZ handout. So that is something that we could do as well. This also applies to, let's say if you do classes, so 2 hours after week 1 class, send an email containing these handouts. After week 2 class, 3 class, 4 class, etc., etc. And so you can kind of see how this will, save you quite a bit of time rather than having to type out those follow-ups after all of your sessions, right? Now, This can also apply after you finish up with your clients as well. So in that opportunities tab again, we also have graduated. So after it's like, okay, I finished up with the package, I want to move them into graduated clients, I can move someone over into graduated, and then we may decide that we want to have a review request go out. So then move to graduated. So for one, saying, hey, congrats, you've graduated. Then we might wait 2 weeks, send an email, wait 6 months, send another email. So you can see that's a great way just to keep in touch. I know when I was training, I was just bad at that. But there you go. And then also anywhere in here, you could send a review request as well. So that's one way to do it if you just want everyone to get a review request. But we've thought about that. Not all clients you want to send review requests. So it could be that you alternatively want to turn on our tagged review. And so that would be when you tag someone with review, they will get a review request. So we've gone over several ways of following up with your clients. So whether that is after an initial call or after they fill out a form, it could be after a session. So I'm hoping that you can see how this will save you some time in your business and ultimately make you seem much more on it than you think you really are. So if you would like to test out Clicks, I invite you to try a 14-day free trial at digywoof.com/clicks. And right now, during December 2022 through the end of the month, we are taking $100 off of our account setup. And so if you're the type that just wants to come into the system and already have all of these automations set up for you, and you just have to, turn them on more or less, or have us turn them on for you, we can do that for you. So again, digywoof.com/clicks, and you can find more information. And if you have any questions about today's topic, or if I can clarify anything, please let me know in the comments. Thanks again for watching, and I will catch you on the next video.